Oh, hi. What's happening? Yes, I actually made it this time. Child, let me just tell you about the wonders of modern medicine. I've been sick for 2 weeks. You can still hear it in my voice. But yesterday, I was delivered with a T on the end. I called my doctor and I was whining. I'm like, I know y'all don't like to give people antibiotics, but this is just ridiculous. This is just going on for too long. I mean, do something. And so, I'm like, wave a magic wand, wiggle your nose, do something. So he was laughing. So he prescribed me these antibiotics. I never had them before, docs or something. But honey, I was only taking 3 of them and I already feel better. So I'm on the mend finally. I don't know what that bacteria was that got a hold of me, but it was not letting go anytime soon. So that's why you haven't seen me. I just have not been feeling good. But I'm on the mend and I'm back. So let's get started with this advice show. This is great. I haven't felt this good in weeks. So let me get over here to where the chat is so I can see what y'all is talking about. Hey, I see all the usual suspects up in here. Shay was sick too. Shay was sick. Candace was sick. I was sick. It's like the sick crew. It's just everybody got sick at the same time. It was terrible. But we're all turned that corner, so we'll be back bugging you and driving you crazy with crazy things. So here we go. We got 25 questions as usual. And here's question number 1. Those of you who, like this and you want to submit a question for the future column, go over to Debsterism.com and there's a form there. It says get advice. Just click it and fill out all the details about your situation. And then Candace will consider it and possibly we'll put it in the column. I don't make those decisions. And so when I read this, I'm hearing it for the first time, just like you are. So it's, any answer that I give and the viewing audience give over in the chat over here on YouTube or on Twitch is because, they have something to say. So those of you who wrote in, please listen to my answer, but also check the chat stream and see what the listeners have to say to add to or augment, or they might have a difference of opinion altogether. You never know. Okay. So let's get started with question number 1, since we got 25 of these bad boys. Female, 18 to 21. She's Middle Eastern from San Jose, California. Summary of issue. How should I decipher between harmless joking and disrespect? Hi, Deb and Squad. Like other girls my age, I feel like it's hard for me to decide if someone is just making a joke or being disrespectful. Let me give you some examples. I'm in college and was part of a friend group with 2 girls, also 19, who I was closer with, and 3 guys our age who I wasn't as close with. 2 of the guys would often make terrorist jokes to me. Oh, as I am Middle Eastern. The boys are all white. And while the jokes were funny and they made similar jokes about people of other races, I felt like those kind of jokes were not made to the girls in the group who the guys were trying to pursue. And I don't want to be treated differently or disrespected just because you don't have romantic interest in me, if that makes sense. When, quote, rude jokes are made towards me, especially by men and everyone around just laughs, I don't know how to respond. And I can't decide if it's just how they are or if I'm tolerating disrespect. What do you think? No, it's definitely disrespectful.
It's an attack on your culture. And the thing about it is, when white people make fun of people of color and your culture, your skin color, your religion, any of that kind of shit, that is some foul, funky bullshit. And nobody should take it. You should be checking them like 9,000. Oh, I just wish I were there so I could do it for you. But no, absolutely, you do not tolerate this kind of stuff. Those two girls, they're sitting up there laughing. You turn to them and say, this is not the behavior of a friend. One thing that you don't do is make fun of anybody's ethnicity, especially when they standing right there. What's the fucking point here? What you all trying to do? And then you turn to them and say, you are some raggedy, dusty ass, ignorant ass fools, and don't you ever come around me again. You racist pricks. That's what you say to them, because that is just ridiculous. And young lady, anytime, tune into yourself. Anytime you're talking or doing anything, you're around people and they're saying stuff that makes you feel small, that makes you feel bullied, picked upon, like you're less than them, that they have to make a joke about you so they feel big about themselves, that is disrespect, and those people are not your friends. So it's time you recognize that shit and what's up, Shay? Yeah, we back, girl. You recognize that now at 19 years of age. They on some bullshit and they need to be checked. I'm surprised their parents didn't raise them better. This is the kind of thing, like if my parents had heard us do anything like that, they would have knocked us into next year. It's like, you don't do that kind of stuff. That is just majorly disrespectful. Even if you don't understand someone's culture, you don't like, something that they eat or whatever like that. It's not your problem. Just don't eat it then. No, you don't mind sit up there lording it over them and making a big deal about it. Fuck you. Just take your little ass on somewhere else and then eat them cheeseburgers or them string bean casseroles and shit that white people like to eat. Okay, we want to get racist. I could teach you how to do it, and you can just shine that shit right back on them. But that's not really how we want to conduct ourselves. But sometimes, you got to match fire with fire because people just don't seem to understand what you're talking about until their feelings get hurt. So you keep in touch with me. You right down the road here in San Jose, and let me know how that goes. I will give you some ammo to shoot them down and make them feel like little crumbs on the ground. That is just ridiculous. First letter, I'm already pissed. Monkey ass fools. But yeah, that's disrespectful. Don't ever take that kind of stuff. Question number 2. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Houston, Texas. My boyfriend got angry that he and I were invited to a party by my male coworker. I work in healthcare as a nurse. A doctor who is married invited me and my boyfriend to his house party that he was hosting for Christmas get-together. My boyfriend knows this doctor, other doctors, and nurses who are going to be there as he transports to our hospital frequently. Deb, this doctor wrote me on Facebook and said, hey, you and boyfriend's name should come to this party I'm hosting if you're both off on Tuesday. I told my boyfriend about it and asked if he would want to go. My boyfriend said things like, it's like he invited you and then said my name. If I was off, I could come. I was like, no, dude, he asked both of us to go. He basically got jealous for absolutely no reason for a party that he was invited to. Your boyfriend's an idiot. It turned into a screaming match because he kept twisting the message and making me seem like I was hiding something from him and doing something wrong by getting invited to this party. Okay, let me tell you let me finish your letter. He knows this person is married and it was a public party. Multiple people were going, and I don't flirt with this person at work. He is always very professional, and I'm just at a loss for words at this point. Your boyfriend transports you to that hospital. Your boyfriend is fooling around with somebody that you work with, but you don't know it. That person is going to be at that party, and that's why he was throwing a fit, because he did not want you to go. He definitely didn't want to go with you. So that was his little roundabout player way of manipulating the situation. But see, you so young, you don't know that. So when he started with that routine, you're supposed to say, well, I'm going to go. And I'm going to check out and see who's the bitch that you've been fucking. That's what I'm going to do. See, if you had said this like that, he would have shut that shit up because he would have known that his game was exposed. But that's what that was. That's all that was. He's not jealous of that doctor in the least. He just didn't want you to go because there's some broad there that he's messing with. Oh, yeah. I mean, soon as I read it, I knew what his game was. But he's not insecure at all. He's not insecure. He's stupid in that he would mess okay, all the women in Houston, I used to live there. All the women in Houston, and if she's in Houston, most likely she's down there at the medical center thing. It's like 6 hospitals or something right next to each other. I mean, the whole area is always packed with traffic because it's like everybody goes there to the doctor, all the hospitals. I mean, it's just ridiculous. She's probably in there somewhere. And so there's even if you just limit yourself to the nurses and the medical staff that's there, why would it have to be somebody that she works with? All the women in Houston, Dallas, nearby, Galveston, Conroe. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like women everywhere. Why would you, dude, have to mess with somebody that works with your woman? That's why I say he's stupid. He's stupid. So anyway, I'm hoping that you went to the party anyway, but understand what time it is with this raggedy boyfriend that you got. Understand. He's what they call it? Community D. He's just making the rounds. Question number 3. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Charlotte, North Carolina. Summary of issue. I found accounts my parents opened up in my name. How do I deal with bank accounts opened in my name as a minor? I was visiting family and my child knocked over some old mail. As I was cleaning it up, I saw several bank notices with my name in the custody of my parent. These letters are dated from when I was a minor. I have never seen strange accounts on my credit reports, and I have a great credit score. The mail doesn't have much detail about what the accounts are for, and the relative who has them would not have any information about it either. I've taken pictures of the account numbers. Now what? Should I call the banks? How can I find others? I've had a rocky relationship with this parent, and that has been exacerbated by the holidays. I'm supposed to spend Christmas Eve with them. Well, we didn't do the con because I was sick. And their newest partner, and already didn't want to go. My child asked if we could just skip it if we were discussing the plans. I do not think asking about the accounts will yield any answers. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I would definitely run it by those banks and ask what those accounts were, or if they still exist, and if if they've been closed. Now, it's not unusual for a parent to open up a bank account for their child. I mean, I had several for my daughter, but when she turned 18, I took my name off of them and, just gave her all the money. So, she soon screwed it up and, and spent it all and stuff. But that's not my problem because I was only in the custody of it till she's a legal adult and able to do it herself. I, put money in it. People gave me money to put in it for her and stuff like that. So it was, nice, tidy little sum. But, when they're doing it like that, they're supposed to give you the money. So is the account still being held, or was everything pulled out and spent? You would need to know that. Then what you might want to do is, once you get all that information, and if you didn't get the money, it was obvious you didn't because you know about the accounts, then that would be the time to run it by your parent and say, you did this and that. And what you're supposed to do is when I reach legal age is give me the money, but you didn't do that. So what was this all about? And have a good discussion with it about it. That's what I would do. I mean, it's not like it's really anything you can do. You haven't been defrauded. Nobody took anything from you. What they did is not criminal. It's a very common practice for parents. So I'm not really understanding why you're so upset as at this late stage of life. You got a kid of your own and everything else. So this was years ago. Why are you tripping so hard? But, just seem to have such curiosity about it. So I would suggest you do that. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Kansas City, Missouri. Excuse me, I'm still coughing a little bit. Summary of issue. Custodian at the school I work at makes me uncomfortable, but he hasn't really crossed the line, so I don't know what to do. So I'm a year or so out of college and work as a substitute teacher. I finally found a good school with some really good kids that I want to continue subbing at regularly. Everything was perfect until the school's custodian, let's call him Kevin, like Home Alone Kevin, a middle-aged male in his 40s, I'd guess, started making me uncomfortable with how frequently he talks to me and buys me things. Uh-oh. The students all seem to love him, and he'll give them snacks and stuff. At first, I thought, wow, what a friendly janitor. So I was genuinely happy to see him when I come to work. and would always say, "Hi, Kevin, how's it going?" And I'd always say bye when I left to go home. But now he has started to walk into classrooms while I'm subbing to talk to me. One day he walked into class saying hi to the kids, and then he literally sat on top of the desk I was sitting at. I thought he was just going to say hi real quick and go, but he hung around for a while trying to make small talk, and it was so awkward. Why are you supposed to be teaching? He's parking his ass in there where he's supposed to be janitoring somewhere, and you didn't tell him to get out. Okay. He asked me, "So are you going to be permanent here?" And I was like, "I don't know. I really like the school, and okay, da, 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 da." And he was like, "Awesome, because we really love having you here. We really love having you here." She's in her early 20s, right? She just got out of college, and he's in his mid 40s. Then there was an awkward silence while he was still sitting on my desk. I had to scramble to come up with conversation. That comment almost also made me particularly uncomfortable. A different day, he came into another class I was subbing in and asked me what my favorite soda is. And I told him Dr. Pepper, and he came back 5 minutes later with one to give me. Now, every day he asks me if I want a soda, and if I say no, he says, "Man, why are you hurting my feelings like that?" I feel uncomfortable with him spending money on me so frequently, but it's like he guilt trips me if I say no. Today, he walked into class while I was on my lunch and said, "You should have told me that was all you were having. I would have brought you lunch." And I said, "Oh my goodness, no." And he said, "See, I don't like that. You saying no?" He actually said that to you. I would be right in the principal's office. He generally seems like a good guy with a good heart. Girl, what is wrong with you? This is a predator. This man is twice your age, and you like all up in your space where you're supposed to be working. He's positioning himself with dominance and aggression at this point to like kind of condemn you because you don't do what he wants to do. That's aggressive behavior. He seems lonely and looking for someone to talk to. That's why I feel, but it's not your fucking job to talk to him. Your job is to teach those kids. Stay focused. I'm really nice to him. I want to choke you right about now. But now I get anxiety every time I go to work thinking, is Kevin going to be there when I turn this corner in the hallway? Is he going to try to buy me a soda today, etc.? I also have social anxiety in general, and most social situations give me anxiety. But this is to the point where I'm seriously considering leaving the school and subbing somewhere else because I don't want to feel anxious every time I go to work. What do? You grow a fucking spine. That's what you do. This is stupid. Your ass, you just getting into the workforce. This bullshit here, this is just the beginning. If you don't open your mouth and learn how to put up boundaries and say no and back fools up off of you, now it's never gonna happen. And for the rest of your life, men are gonna be taking advantage of you and doing whatever they want to you and making you feel bad about it when you don't do it, which is what's happening right here. So let me give you a script. I'm surprised that you haven't, your parents, what's wrong with these parents these days? I'm getting so upset. Okay. When you go to school the next time and he comes up to you, say, "I need to have a talk with you." And you're going to say that we're going to have 3 rules. 1, you're not buying me anything. Number 2, you're going to stay out of my class because you're supposed to be working, doing what you're doing. And I'm trying to work to teach these kids. And then number 3, what was the third thing that you said? Oh, if I tell you no, you're going to accept it. There's not going to be any argument about it. That's it. And that's all. That's my final answer. We understand each other now? Because this is going a little too far for me. I'm not really feeling you like that. Trying to be polite, and you just want to take it and run all around the world with it, and it ain't happen. That's not happening. So whatever fantasy you have in your head is just get rid of it. I want you to listen to that, and I want you to record it, and I want you to practice saying it all weekend until you go back to that school. This gonna fly out your mouth because you're gonna have memorized it, just what I said. And you're gonna say it in that tone of voice. Don't be all meek and hiding your head and looking all silly. You're gonna raise your head up, stand up like you got a fucking spine and that you're a grown woman, and tell this man to leave you the fuck alone. Okay, this is just the beginning. You just got out of school. You just starting in the workforce. This is gonna be your life, and you better handle it now with like you got some courage and you got some strength about you. Otherwise, every single job you go to, you can't escape this kind of man. They're everywhere. Okay, they're in schools, they're in law firms, they're in banks, everywhere you can go, government offices, they're everywhere because they have this weird attitude that young women are stupid, which in this case is true, and that they can manipulate and coerce you into doing what they want you to do using guilt and control tactics. Okay. So you need to figure this out now and get yourself together, chick. Running around, running to another school is not going to save you. There's just going to be somebody else. He's not going to be named Kevin. He's going to be named Bill or William or Ronald or some shit, but it's going to be the same thing. Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did have a Just Say No workshop. I guess, these letters, this is from 2 weeks ago. I'm just now doing them. And so that's why people are talking about Christmas parties and New Year's parties that already happened. But yeah, thank you, DJ. Put a lot of work into it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll probably have to do it again at some point, maybe later in the year. Question number 5. This is a female in a 22 to 27 age group from Toronto. Summary of issue. My best friend confessed that he wished that we had gotten together. He's been my best friend since we were 7 years old. We're both 23 now. He recently told me that he wished we had gotten together when we were both single. He's been in a stable relationship for a while now. I had that one weird nook dream about him when I was about 19 and never thought about him that way ever since. But now that he's confessed this because he was losing sleep over it, I'm unsure how to go about our friendship now. And I need to get this off my chest without telling anybody that I personally know, and just to see if you or any of the ladies listening has any advice for me. He's in a stable relationship, but see, you see it as a stable relationship. Obviously, it ain't that stable. But if you're not interested in him like that, since you guys been friends since forever, what you do is remind him, whether I was single or not, you had the opportunity, just like you're doing now when you're not single, to tell me this. But you didn't. You waited until now. So, it leaves me with the impression that, you're just looking for an out from your relationship and you want it to be me instead of just having the courage to tell that girl that you don't want to be with her anymore. So we're not going to do this. Okay. You're going to man up and get out of the relationship that you're in if you don't want to be in it. But don't look for me to help you do it. I'm not going to. Okay. Make that a UE right on back to him. And put that monkey on his back, because that's his relationship and his issue and his bad dreams and his sleepless nights. This has nothing to do with you. So you not seeing this clearly. So, he had the opportunity, he didn't take it, and just remind him of that. See, that's what being slow and not having any balls will do for you as a man. You need to step up. Even not like he was gonna try to cost you or force you or anything, but just merely state that his interest in you was more than just friends. And now that you guys are adults, but he didn't say it. He waits till now, decades later, like an idiot. I'm just like this clown right here. This, I don't know. Why is that? I can just see through men. That's why I'm single though. Because soon as they start, they just they just do one little trick, and I call them on it, and they just sit there looking devastated. Well, no woman ever told me they talked to me like that. I'm like, well, what you want from me? Now they have. Yeah, he's stupid. He's been around since he was 7. He shed plenty of times to give you Valentine's and tell you he's gonna marry you when he gets older and stuff like that. So my little boyfriend said, we were about 9. He says, I'm gonna marry you. And I said, no, you're not. And we didn't either. Question number 6. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Dallas. Summary of issue. How do I help when I notice a woman being followed in public? Ooh. Earlier today, when I was walking through a mall, I saw a woman alone who looked incredibly uncomfortable as she was walking. I noticed another man walking closely behind her, and the gears turned in my head that this wasn't someone she was familiar with. I thought about saying something, but before I could intervene, she walked into a Victoria's Secret store. The man sounded frustrated. He grunted and then walked away in the opposite direction. I'm glad she was able to head into a safe space to deter the creep, but I was so bothered that I didn't say anything after I noticed the issue. In case I see something like this happen again, what would be a safe way to approach so I can help out a woman who is being followed? Like, if it were you, ladies, what would you want the guy to do or say? Okay, that's a good question. So y'all can chime in. If that were you and you were in that situation, what would you want the guy to do or say? I think, when you're in a mall, they have security. So you could have dipped into a store and said to one of the clerks, "Call security. There's this man that's following this woman, and it looks like a dangerous situation for her. Describe the man, describe the woman, and then dip out the store." Okay. They will be there like Johnny. I mean, so fast. That's the advantage of a mall. Now that's you can do that. Now, if you're just on a public street, these days people are kind of crazy and you don't really know what the situation is. So you can, if it just looks like, you can scan and see pretty much if somebody's got a weapon or they look, crazy. If not, then you just walk up to the woman and walk beside her and say, "Hey, I don't know, Loretta, I was wondering, so good to see you, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you want to grab a bite to eat and some coffee and stuff so we can catch up?" Every woman who's smart will understand what's happening, and she will, you know, stop the chit chat and bullshit with you to deter the idiot. That's one tactic. If there's any doubt in your mind, like if there's two dudes and you think, they wearing them baggy clothes where they could have a gun or, they look like loony, like they're high on drugs or something, then don't do it. Just follow them at a safe distance and call the police. Describe the situation. If you can stealthily take a photo of the guy, do that, because chances are if he's that bold to do that in a public place, he's done it before and will do it again. So if you can stealth the photo or video or something, then when that'll be evidence that they can, have a little chat with Home Skillet. And you never know. Sometimes those people have, warrants out. So you might help get his ass off the street. So look at what the ladies have to say. They're giving you some ideas for what to do and how to do it. But you're right. That is a situation. I think it's too bad more, caring people don't step up. I've done that with the girls that I've seen. It's like, "Oh, how's your mother doing? So what grade are you in now?" That kind of stuff. And you just start talking to them. But I guess you can get away with it more, because I'm an older lady and they don't feel like I'm a threat to them at all, of course. But yeah, you can see those situations where the girls, they just don't know what to do. They got that deer in the headlights look. And these dudes are like predators. And it's just like all these little teenagers, little girls, 14, 15 years old. They're kids. And these grown ass men be trying to, holler at them and put the mash on them and stuff. And they know the kids don't know what to do unless they're them little, hood rat Oakland girls. They know what to do. But, the ones who aren't hood rats, they don't know how to handle that kind of situation, haven't never been in it before. And parents don't think to talk to their kids about that kind of stuff. I used to talk to my daughter, though. It's like, "You're going to see some fools," because we lived in Oakland. "You're going to see some fools and they're going to be like this and that here. And this is what you need to do." I wish more parents did that. Yeah. Women do need to be to do that. But they get scared. They get scared and they don't do anything and they don't say anything. They just have that frozen look. And the predators depend on that. So I say, I used to think all these little Oakland girls, little Richmond girls are just kind of wild. But the thing about them is they will jump back, they will fight you, they will cut you, they will cuss you out and don't give a fuck about being loud and drawing attention and being just crazy. So dudes will generally tend to leave them alone. And that's good. That's their self-defense. Wow. Let's move on. Question number 7. We got 25 questions. Thank you everybody for coming through. I had to move the show twice because I was still sick. But the wonders of antibiotics have saved me. Question number 7. This is a female 18 to 21 from Jacksonville, Florida. Summary of issue. How can I be a better and healthier healthier to my friend when she chooses a shipwreck relationship? She would be my ex-friend, but let's see what you have to say. I have a close friend that I'll call Lynn, and she's putting herself through a toxic relationship, and I can't bring myself to watch her put herself through intentional pain. We are both 20 and have had some serious discussions regarding her partner and the way he treats her poorly, like manipulating her and degrading her value whenever they have disagreements. He will make her feel like she's not supposed to have a voice of her own. He's acting and talking with narcissistic traits and patterns. I told her that she needs to break up with him because he needs to work on his personal issues or at least give him and her space to work on themselves individually. And she's blatantly expressed to me that she chooses her toxic relationship. Auntie, I want to be her friend, but I don't want to act like I'm okay with supporting her self sabotage. I don't want to stand by her when she's trying to make herself crumble. How can I walk the balance between supporting her individually without supporting her relationship? I don't want to be negative about it, but I have been direct and I'm not getting through to her. You can't do anything here. Let me tell you a story. I had a close friend who was almost like a brother to me. This was in the 80s. No, it was in the 90s. I'm sorry. I met him in the 80s. And then this situation here happened in the early to mid 90s. So, that was when the crack was hitting hard. Every just people were losing everything behind it. So dude was just brilliant. This was a brilliant man. He had money, owned property. I mean, just this very successful brother. Okay, he was like somebody I looked up to, that I used to try to learn stuff from, business tactics and stuff like that. So somehow, I don't know what the backstory is. He got involved with that stuff. Okay. And he had the kind of money to go check himself into like a luxury hotel by the beach. And, I mean, like expensive. And then stay there all weekend by himself doing illegal substances. So anyway, this woman that he was dating reached out to me and she's like, I know you have a lot of influence over him. Can you, talk to him? So I said, well, sure. I don't know. Talk to him, but no, I ain't making no promises. This is a grown ass man. He's older than me. What am I, you know what I mean? So, but whatever. So I go to their house and I took one look at him. He was sitting there and he was like, he was doing all like this and stuff. He was high while I was there. And so I'm looking at him. I said, so what is all of this? And so he said, uh, what you mean? What is all this? This is me right now. This is me. And he got all, defensive. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna just ask you this one question. Are you ready to move on from this me? Or you still want to do this? And he sat there for, I don't know, probably about 2 or 3 minutes because it was, and I wasn't gonna say anything. I just was sitting there looking at him, waiting for the answer. And I guess he was thinking about it while he's doing his little bob and weave. And then he said to me, this is what I want to do right now. I said, bet. I got up, I kissed him on the cheek, I got my keys in my purse, and I left. I didn't talk to him for years. And then finally he got himself straight. And then we started talking again. So I'm telling you this long story because Deborah has extremely strong and very tight boundaries of protecting myself, my emotions, my money, and my time. Because see, people that was going down that road, he ended up losing everything. He lost his houses, he lost his fancy cars, he had a collection of cars, lost all that, lost his marriage, lost everything. He lost everything. And so he had to start from ground zero. When you have people like that in your life, when they start losing their stuff, they start going after yours. See, we wasn't gonna have that. So I cut him off. Like right once he told me that that's what he wanted to do as a grown man, I have no reason to not respect that. That was a decision that he made. Your friend, the reason I tell you that story is so you can understand that this is the time when you cut ties. Your friend has told you to your face that she made a decision that she knows is a stupid one. Just like him. He made a decision that he knew was a stupid one, but that's what he wanted to do. That's what she wants to do. You see what I mean? I told you because perfect parallel story. When people tell you what they want to do with their time, their energy, their money, their life, you respect it and you leave them to do it. At some point, she'll change her mind. At that point, then you say, have you left him yet? And then she'll say no. And then you'll say, well, we're going to continue to be distant because I don't want to be bothered. Okay, I don't want my nerves rattled. I don't want to be worrying about somebody who's made a choice that is one that I think is a stupid one. So you go on over there and you do that and live happily. And so that's what you have to do. You have to be very strong about this. You can't bend. You can't worry about her. You can't let her call you when he starts kicking her ass and rush to the hospital or rush to take her to the doctor. You stay out of it. She is an adult and she needs to feel the full ramifications of her decision, all of it. When she gets her ass kicked and ends up with broken bones and a busted up face, yeah, you'll cry, you'll feel sorry for her, but guess what? That's what she wanted. That's why she stayed in the relationship. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's so harsh, but you got to understand when people have an opportunity, because she's not married to him, she don't have no kids. They're not physically tied together. There's no reason for her to stay with a man who's doing her like that. She's choosing to do that, which is what she told you. So respect her stupidity and leave her alone. Why it is. I mean, it's hard though. I know it's hard, but see, Deb loves Deb more than anybody and anything in this world. And if I'm looking at you and I see you on some bullshit monkey shines nonsense, and that's gonna spill over into my gloriously lovely sunny world where I just cough all the time, then you gotta go. Then you gotta go, and there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, those are the kind of boundaries that you need to understand, you need to have with this chick. She don't want to break up. So she want to get talked to like she got a tail. She wants all the stuff that she's doing, degrading her and all that stuff. She wants that right now. Just like that guy that was my friend wanted that crack pipe. You see what I mean? It's the same thing. Question number 8. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Tucson, Arizona. Summary of issue. My brother has never had any luck with relationships. Well, what's wrong with him? I have a younger brother who's 22, and he hasn't had a single solid relationship with a girl yet. Well, he's still young, though. He has had girlfriends that he has paid attention to, given small gifts to, and asked out on dates. But the girls seem to reciprocate to him at first, but afterward they stop talking to him altogether. I do not understand. Are girls now so puzzled by the advancement in life that do not want a relationship in principle? Or is it that my brother hasn't found the right girl? I don't know what to believe. He's funny and he has hobbies, he has friends. I didn't think he'd ever be in this situation, but here we are. What do you think this could be about? He's got a little dick and he can't fuck. That's what that's about. What you want from me? He's in his 20s, late teens, 20s, most teens are sexually active. And if the girls are interested in him at first, and then after a time they're not, that means that's when the nook happened and he wasn't putting it down. They lost interest, packed their shit and left, right? Am I wrong? I have to be blunt with these people because they just act clueless. Like they just don't understand. If every single girl leaves him after a certain period of time, and that's usually, that third date or so, when people start to get busy, and that's when the girls dump his ass, yes, your brother's got a little dick or he can't fuck them both. Now, well, I just, I don't know what else to say. People write to me for truths that they're not going to get anywhere else. And there you go, my boy. That's the reason why. He can be funny, he can have hobbies, and he can have friends, and all that stuff, but all of that's not going to satisfy a woman in bed. Do you not understand what I'm talking about here? Okay, that's what that means. So your brother needs some help in a way I can't help him. Question number 7. This is a male in the 35 to 41 age group from Cincinnati, Ohio. The woman in question is also 35 to 41. Summary of issue. My partner threw away my grandma's secret recipe and I can't forgive her. Ooh. Is she still your partner? We would be divorced. My partner and I have been living together for 3 years now and everything has been great until recently. My grandma passed away a few years ago, but before she did, she gave me her family recipe book. This book was filled with secret family recipes that she trusted me with. I love cooking and absolutely loved my grandma's meals, so this book meant a lot to me. But the other day, I was looking for a recipe in the book to make one of my grandma's rum cakes. But to my surprise, the page with the recipe was gone. I searched everywhere and found out that my partner had thrown it away thinking the recipe was wrong. She said she didn't know the recipe book was from my grandma and assumed it was just some old notebook or whatever. I was really upset. She didn't ask me before throwing away something that meant a lot to me. It wasn't just a recipe. It had a piece of my family's history tied to it. I tried to explain how important it was, but she didn't care and said I could find another recipe online and that I'm overreacting. I'm struggling to move forward from this. Wow, her reaction is odd. Her being so dismissive of my feelings upsets me. I've never seen her behave this way before. I'm so sad and confused. I don't understand why she would want to hurt me like this. Everything was going well between us and we hadn't argued in weeks. So I'm not sure why she would want to take revenge on me. I haven't talked to her for almost 2 days. How do I move past this? You don't move past this, you move out. Dude, let me explain something to you. Since she only took that one page, that was intentional. If she thought something was wrong, she would have tossed out the whole book. Don't you understand this? There's something about that recipe. I don't know. Do you talk about it being so great? Does she make a rum cake that's not as good? There's something going on with this recipe that is means something to her, and she doesn't like it. What I'm going to suggest that you do is take the cookbook and you take it to some printing place and have them take shots of each and every page in that book and make it into a digital format for you immediately. Okay, this is something you really should have done as soon as your grandmother gave you the book, but it's not too late before she throws the whole damn thing away. Do that, and then you will have it stored somewhere in the cloud. And even if she does something, physical with the actual book, it won't hurt you. You still have all the recipes, all her notes, all the pictures that she might have stuck in there, drew on the side, whatever. You're going to have everything reproduced by the professional printing company. Secondly, I'm very deeply disturbed by her callous reaction to something that she knows has a deep emotional meaning to you. It's sentimental to you. It's something that's irreplaceable because the woman is deceased and you can't ever get that page back, ever. And I think that's what's hurting you so bad. It's like it was like a family heirloom, and she just tossed it out without a fucking care. So see, for me, the way that she responded, more so than the action itself, would be what made me break up with her. Because she just don't give a fuck that you're upset, and she don't give a fuck that was a family heirloom, and just find one online then. It's like, well, then, bitch, why didn't you just go find one online? Why'd you have to go and fuck with my shit? See, that would have been the response she got from me. As just like, especially like if it was my house, I'd be like, get all your shit and get the fuck out. Because you are a bitch, and I'm not trying to deal with your ass no more. I'm glad you showed your true colors. It took 3 years for you to show it, but get the fuck out of my life, out of my house. I don't want to hear from you or see you ever again. That's how the line would be drawn for me. You're not going to do me like that and think that you're not going to have no repercussions. Oh, you're going to have all of them because you're getting out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Anna. It sounds like there's some kind of hate involved. And it's like me. I have a bunch of my grandmother's recipes, and I'm the only one in the family that has them. But I've been going through the process of typing them and putting them in, and they're in a Word document. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is ask my cousins and everybody for some recipes from their mothers, and then put together a cookbook for our whole family of all different family recipes. And then everybody will have everybody's recipes. I don't like being the only one who knows how to make it. I mean, it's an honor that they trusted you enough to do it. But, if something happens to me, then it's gone forever. All right. And I don't want that. I want, people to be able to reproduce it. So, yeah, I'm probably more upset about this than you are, but that would be, really seriously think about that. I mean, how can you trust somebody with your heart after they treat you like that? That's where I'm going with it. There would be no more love. I mean, if I did still love her, it would be on its way out because I would make sure that I put the brakes on that relationship immediately. That is the utmost in disrespect. And once you have someone who doesn't respect you, they can't really love you. Love is the kind of thing where you don't want to hurt the person that you're with. Once the people start going out of their way to hurt you, understand that they don't love you. There's something else going on, but it's not love. Love does not you don't treat people like this when you love them. So you need to have some real deep thinking to do and some accepting to come to, my brother. And then you need to get rid of this broad like quickly before, and make sure you put your cookbook in the safe deposit box or anything else that's of value to yours, then kick her out. Because otherwise she'll destroy that too. Question number 8. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Leeds, England. Summary of issue. My boyfriend doesn't think cavities and oral health are a big deal. How can I bring up he needs to see a dentist? Child, they in England. I tell you, every Englishman I've met has the most fucked up teeth in the world. What in the world is going on? They teeth be all looking crazy and sitting on top of each other and just be different colors and stuff. I can't get with it. So I understand. My boyfriend and I have been dating a few months, and he's the nicest person I've ever found. I love being with him and hope to be together for many years to come. There's just one thing that has me thinking. In a few occasions, I realized he doesn't take his oral health seriously, and he hasn't seen a dentist in years. And you kiss him? He wouldn't be my boyfriend. This scares me quite a bit, and I feel like I need to bring this up if I imagine us being together long term. I just don't know how, though. Recently, he mentioned he might have a few cavities and that it's a hassle getting them treated. I thought I could share my recent experience with getting one treated and recommend that he goes to check them with a dentist. He has good insurance, so it's not even that expensive. Any advice on how to bring this up without lowering his self-confidence or make him feel like I'm mothering him? He is 30 years old, by the way. So how old are you? Are you 22 to 27 and he's 30 already? I'm going to say this. Now, I know a lot of people wouldn't take this approach, but I just have to be myself. I'm gonna say, you yuck mouth motherfucker. Who do you think want to be kissing on you with you got holes in your teeth and stuff? Bacteria, do you know that stuff smells? You got rotten teeth, you got holes. It's gonna be rotten foods growing up in those holes and stuff. And then you're gonna be trying to kiss me and talk to me close with that funky breath. You better get your ass to a dentist. That's how I would do it. Am I mothering him? Oh, hell to the no. Am I going to be reminding him? Nope. I'm just gonna tell him what's not gonna be happening if he doesn't take care of it. Which is, you're not gonna be close to me and we're not kissing and I'm not sleeping with you. Because your mouth, you funky. Your mouth, every time you open your mouth, it smells like a goddamn sewer. We're not doing this. So you would talk to him like that, then he would run his ass to the dentist. Right? Am I right? Yeah, it's a yuck mouth. I can't be looking at people with it doesn't smell like shit. Because the food gets in there and you don't clean the hole out and stuff. It just grows the bacteria and stuff in there. That's just gross. Girl, I can't do I can't do bad dental hygiene. I stay my ass in the dentist. You get them tooth cleanings and stuff twice a year. I am there. When I leave, I make my next appointment. One time I cracked my tooth though on a tortilla chip. I had a filling in that tooth. The filling was old from when I was in college anyway, so it was probably ready for it to go. But anyway, it was over here, right? I'm munching away on some nachos I shouldn't have been eating. And that tortilla chip it was so hard to crack my tooth. So I ended up having to get what they call it, a crown. Spent so much, my $1,500 tooth. I was hot. Had to spend all that money. But, it works. They did a good job. They did it in that same day. I went in the morning. They, took out the other stuff, took measurements and stuff. They have a lab. They made it right there. And I went back in the afternoon and they put it in and I've been good to go ever since. Broke her, but at least I have my tooth. Yeah, that was. Okay, this is another question from England. This is number 9. This is a young man in 22 to 27 age group from Milton Keynes, England. Summary of issue. Girlfriend puts no effort into her appearance. My girlfriend of 3 years stopped putting effort into her appearance. She already didn't put much effort in, but lately it's just non-existent. I need help approaching her and letting her know that it's starting to bother me, especially in the formal settings or family gatherings. I understand that she can't be the best dressed every day, but every now and then it would be nice. I made sure she's not struggling mentally or emotionally just to be safe. Okay, good. Now you knew I was going to be wondering that. I've offered to take her shopping or went out shopping, taking her by the hand to look at clothes, and it doesn't interest her. Unless it's like a novelty clothing item or something that's closer to lounge wear. I could really use some advice to tackle this minor issue. That's not a minor issue. That's some embarrassing bullshit. And it makes somebody just look uncouth and it's not, you guys are young, right? You 22 to 27, you're young. So you're just really trying to get established in your career and stuff. You're going to be invited to different social events to connected, professional organizations or with your job. There'll be, and then of course they're going to invite your partner because you've been with her for a while. So they're going to invite, it's going to be an invitation for 2. And then she's going to show up there in like a gunny sack. And then you're going to be all decked out in your suit and stuff, which is appropriate attire. So see, in my mind, what you need to do is just sit down and tell her, look, I want to take you places with me, but the way that you be dressing, I'm not going to take you anywhere. I'm trying, there's appropriateness that we have to consider. We're young and we're trying to climb the corporate ladder and do big things. So we establish ourselves for the future. You're going to be a hindrance to me looking like that because people are going to think that, it's going to be your lack of care about your appearance and dressing inappropriately for different situations around these professionals is going to reflect negatively on me. And versus me having to lose any kind of traction that I could get, I'll leave your ass at home. So either you get your shit together or you just going to be at home by yourself all the time. Which one do you want? Now, do you let her make the decision? And there'll be people be like, well, people should love you the way that they are. Oh, no, 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 no. When you go out and you're a couple, people perceive you as a unit. So if you like a professional woman, right, you got your master's degree, and you show up with some pants sagging, weed smelling, braided hair, ex-convict that can't put a decent sentence together, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Do you think that your professional colleagues will take you seriously? Do you think opportunity to get big cases, big accounts, big corporate business is going to come your way? They're going to look at you and think you don't have any goddamn sense because you chose a clown to bring, and then you had the nerve to bring them to the parties and stuff. That's going to show that you don't have good judgment. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. She, in spite of everything that we like to say, is going to reflect on you. You have to take this seriously. This is not a minor issue. Someone who does not want to represent your partnership together with you so that you both, hit the ground running. This is like mentally, emotionally, financially, and of course, the way that you dress and speak. You guys have to be in sync. Okay. And this is not going to work. If you trying to do something with your life, it's not going to work. And you need to let her know that. Stop mincing words and stop trying to beat around the bush. Just tell her. You just dress stupid and ain't nobody trying to take you nowhere. Exactly. And he's young. That's what I'm saying. When you get like in your 40s and 50s and you in the, settled and about to retire and shit, and you want to go around looking like a fool, you can do that because you already got your money in the bank. You already got your promotions. You already, you got everything already. You had to do this dance when you were younger, but you don't have to do it anymore. So you can look whatever way you want to. But they're not there yet. And so she's going to impede his progress. It's not going to be pretty. Question number 10. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Calgary, Canada. Summary of issue. How do I tell my friend that I don't want to hang out with her anymore? Okay, so 22 to 27 age group. Well, you know what that's all about. I don't want to come off as an asshole, but I don't want to accept her invitation to hang out anymore for personal reasons. We used to hang out every week for the past 5 years. So it's going to come up in conversation after the second or third time that I declined hanging out with her. I did bring up in a conversation recently that she seems to prefer to be on her phone than to actually hang out together and talk to me. She acknowledged it, and then the next 2 times the same situation happened. This is not fun or interesting, and I don't want to do it anymore. How would you think a friendship phase you out of their lives with the least amount of drama or hurt feelings? Don't worry about hurting her feelings. Is she worried about hurting yours? She goes and hang out with you and she's on her phone. How fucking rude is that? Dude, all you have to do is when you're okay, this is how I want you to do it. Because I want you have to make a statement. Okay. You can't just fade out. That's the pussy way. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go out with her, right? And then you're gonna say, this is your last opportunity to fix this, whatever this is that you have with your phone where we're supposed to be hanging out together. And then she's going to get on her phone. And that's the instant when you say, okay, well, I can see that you're choosing your phone over me and our friendship. So I'm going to go now. And then you get up and you go. So make sure you don't go in the car with her. You take your own vehicle so you can leave when you get ready. This is important. You have to let her know that you mean business because right now, see, you're bitching and moaning about it, but you haven't really done anything. She hasn't really suffered any repercussions because of the way that she treats you. You just keep, coming back for more because you've been around for 5 years. But you have to put a stop to that, dude. You don't want to be treated like that. And this is your land. This is your line in the sand. So when she does that, you get up and you walk out. She's going to be calling you and she's going to blame you. Well, we were friends and how can you do me like that, this and that, and say, like I told you before, I don't come out to look at you be on your phone. I come out to socialize with you. You prefer to be on your phone, so be on your phone. And I'm going to go and socialize with somebody who really wants to enjoy my company. That's obviously not you. Okay, so that's what you say to her, and leave her with her mouth hanging open in a Pikachu face. Okay, that's what you're gonna do, and I want you to do it just like that. I don't know. I'm not addicted to social media because every time I look at it, I'd be like, God damn, people are stupid. The stuff they say, especially those males on Instagram and TikTok, them dudes. Ooh, Lord have mercy. What in the world? You know, that's why I got off of what was that thing I was on? It's like you call in all the time. I can't remember the name of it right now. It was like a radio. I can't remember the name. See, that's how hard I blanked it. I just thought this is the most ignorant platform ever. I mean, it has some good stuff on there about people giving seminars and stuff about money management and you know whatever. They were some stuff. Um, yes, thank you, Diana. Clubhouse. See, I blanked. Like I said, I blanked it so hard because it was just full of complete ignorance, and I just could not. I So this sounds like to me like, this kind of that's why I could never get addicted to social media. Because I'd be sitting up there looking like, wow, these people spend hours in this doing nothing. They should be reading some books. Half of them can't even speak English correctly. The horrible grammar, their punctuation, the way that they pronounce words is horrible. Their vocabulary is lacking. Their understanding is just negligible. Emotional intelligence underground. You could just hear it all in the conversation. So, I mean, I spent a few weeks over there, maybe a month or so, and then I was outie. Boop, I'm gone. Never went back. Question number 11. This is a male, 35 to 41 age group from Plattsbridge, Greater Manchester. Summary of issue. Any good pointers to help me out? So, I am a 40-year-old mixed race guy that has been single for the last 5 years. The last woman I was talking to dumped me because she said I was too optimistic and energetic. That really stung. What, she wants you to be Eeyore? What the hell? I have just not been having any luck on any dating sites. I get no likes, no responses, and just lost what to do when it comes to online dating. Well, you asking the wrong person because I don't do it. I am pretty straightforward on the sites, stating that I'm looking for a long-term relationship and wanting to be with someone that wants to start a family. Dude, you don't look for that on apps. Those are hookup sites. As far as meeting someone in person, by day I work as a banker and at night I have a part-time job to help me reach some personal goals. I do plan on going to a few single events in the coming month to try my luck out in person. Basically, I'm just lost on what to do and if I'm doing something wrong. I'm a decent looking guy. I have my shit together. I make good money. Not sure if I told enough for sound advice, but figured I'd try and see if you might help give me some good advice. What you looking like? I've noticed that you left that out. What's this? What's going on with the body? You didn't talk about that at all. How tall are you? Are you a weeble? what you got going on in that mug? So you didn't talk about your physical appearance. You just said, decent looking, but I need specifics. And you have good money, that's good. You have your shit together, that's good. I mean, that means no bill collectors calling you and you ain't getting done and all that kind of stuff. You got good credit. But dude, there's a lot more to it when you're looking at trying to relate to women. What's your conversation like? Are you engaging? Do you have things to talk about that a woman would be interested in? Do you exude sex appeal? That's why I keep asking, what's this and what's this looking like? Because for a woman to want to be with you, she's gonna have to want to bone you. Okay. And if you that kind of dude that's like androgynous, although some women like that, or you don't really have any, you don't exude any kind of masculinity, it creates an issue where she's not going to be attracted to you. She might be curious about you, but she can satisfy that in a phone call or two. And then, but there's no heat. There's nothing to make her want to be wrapped up in your arms and stuff like that. Lock lips with you. There's nothing. So usually I think that's what it is with a lot of guys. They're very timid. They don't really have much confidence, insecure. And when you're dealing with women, you cannot be like that. You have to be confident. You have to be able to look them in the eye, not stare at them like some freaking weirdo, but look them in the eye, have opinions about stuff, make decisions. Don't waffle like, oh, I don't know. Well, what do you think? I don't, well, let's do what you want to do. Women hate that. Be decisive. You're gonna pick up for a date, say, well, this is what I planned. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna pick you up at 7. I got reservations at such and such for 7:30. So dress nice. They have a nice dress code. And then I thought there's so and so's there's bands in town. We can go over there and we can dance a little bit, and then I'll take you home, and you'll be home safe and sound by 1 a.m. How does this sound? And she's gonna be like, oh, that's great. And you told her the whole agenda, right? So she knows what to do, how to dress, when she'll be home, if she got to hire a sitter and all this kind of stuff. She knows what's happening. That's how you plan a date. You don't wait till you get there and be like, oh, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What movie do you want to see? Dudes do that. They think that they're being pleasing, but what you're really doing is being lazy. And women hate that shit. They hate it with a passion. So you tell her you want to go to a movie, say, well, I was thinking about seeing such and such and such and such a. What do you think? Which one would you prefer? Pick 2 or 3 that you want to see, and then let her pick the one that she wants to see. Then y'all go see that one. But you've made a decision already. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Women need you to make a decision to exude some strength and masculinity. Do something with yourself, and then women will be attracted to you. But you just, and this, this straightforward stuff is like kind of scary too. You don't look for long-term relationships and starting a family on a dating app. Of course, they think that you just is game. Nobody's going to take you seriously and believe that you really mean that. I mean, dudes say that shit all the time, but it's just to get the draws. So if just you that one dude out of 20 million that really means it, nobody's going to believe you. Your best bet, if you got money and you got it going on like this, find you a matchmaker type of person. It's going to cost you some money. But at least the people they'll weed through, all the women will want to be married and have a family like you. And then they'll read through the profiles and they'll pick one for 2. And then you go on dates with them, and that's what you're going to do. Okay. Question number 12. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Santa Ana, California. Summary of issue: asking her to be my girlfriend. I am 24 and I've been dating this 22-year-old girl for about a month and a half. So 6 weeks. We have been meeting about 3 to 5 times a week. Wow, that's a lot. We had our first kiss already and have been kissing each other regularly, but no nook so far since she is a V and I want to take things slow. Now, I really like this girl and I don't like wasting time, so I want to take things seriously and move up to the next stage and ask her to be my girlfriend. We're going to have a vacation together in another city for Valentine's Day, and I have been thinking of asking her on maybe a rose with a card on it, but I am unsure. Maybe that is too much and I should just do it in a casual way instead before then. Yes, definitely before then. Also, she recently told me that she told her mother about me, but she didn't tell her much, just that she has been seeing me, etc. And I honestly don't know what that means. Hell, it don't mean shit. You only been dealing with it for 6 weeks. Just told her mother, mother. Okay, let me just tell you about mothers and daughters when you get in this age. Everybody want to know, you got a man? Are you getting married? Why don't you have no kids? It's like the trilogy of questions that young women get asked. So she would respond to that question by saying, oh, I am seeing somebody, and his name is Johnny, and blah, blah, he's 20, whatever you said you are, and blah, 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 and he's really nice. Okay, that's how she would respond to her mother. So yeah, she did tell her mother about you, but is she going to go into a whole bunch of details? She don't have no details on you because you've only been dealing with each other for 6 weeks. Come on now. But what you're going to do, you're not going to wait until Valentine's. Well, I guess, we're almost in the middle of January already. But still, dude, that's too long. You don't want to go on the trip without having something settled. So you want to do maybe around the 1st of February at the latest. You're going to tell her, it's like, I'm really, really like you. And I don't want to see anybody else. How do you feel about that? I'd like us to, make a commitment to be boyfriend, girlfriend, however y'all say it these days. And ask her if she's okay with, if she's interested in doing that. So then when you guys go on the trip, you already be in a relationship. It doesn't make sense to go on a trip to another city for Valentine's Day and you ain't a couple. I don't understand that backwards logic. Of course he wants the panties. Who don't? I mean, she might want it. She might want to give it to him. You know what I mean? It's just the way that it is. But that's not the issue. I mean, he wants to take it slow and he wants to, make it do a formal, full formal thing and stuff, which is cute. It's nice and it will make her feel secure. But you can't wait till you on the trip to do it. It's not like a marriage proposal. Dude, get this show on the road here. Question number 13. Men be just dragging their feet and waiting too long. Question number 13 is the male in the 20 to 34 age group. He's Black from Newark, New Jersey. Summary of issue: getting judged. I just started dating a girl a few years younger than me who I met on a dating app. We connected and I started liking her voice and I fell for her. We both are having some strong feelings of being together. I'm not being a racist or anything or hurt anyone's feelings. But the girl I'm dating is of dark complexion and I'm kind of fair, but I like her for what she is and her good character and her whole being. But I'm facing this fear of getting judged by people for our pair of skin complexion. I know I don't care what other people say or talk. Yes, you do. Otherwise, you would be writing this whole fucking letter. Stop tripping. Just a question to the Debsterism community on how other people face these situations. We don't, because we're not ignorant like you. See, you're stupid. You are sitting up there worrying about somebody's skin color, which is just about the dumbest shit I can think of. Okay, she's Black. Y'all got the same culture. So what's the problem here? Don't you know, like when I was living in Houston, like all the couples, if the man was dark, the wife was, as you call it, fair. If the wife was dark, the husband was fair. You didn't really tend to see two fair people or two dark-skinned people together. For some reason, it was always a mixture. They were always attracted to, whatever the opposite is. I thought that was interesting. It was very noticeable. Even my father's like that. My mother was, pretty fair, and my dad was, more brown skin. Same thing. So what you're talking about, this is typical. This is what you see. The only question is, if your family's like one of them folks from Louisiana, now they put them Cajuns, the Creole, whatever, Creole, they tend to put a lot of stock on that, the skin color thing. I'm like walking around in New Orleans, right? These bras walking around with parasols and shit because they didn't want to get darker because of the sun. This was in the 80s, but still, I had never seen no shit like that before, except in a movie. Them old Victorian era movies where the women walk with the big dresses and walk with a parasol. That's how they was walking around. And I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. But to them, getting darker is like, you just don't, it's not done. So, I mean, do you have that in your family? Is that, you got to have family history like that? I could see that being an issue, but you living in Newark, New Jersey now, my brother. So stop this. If you make that girl feel bad or like she's less or, you're ashamed of her or something like that, then you're an asshole. And if you can't get past this, is this really going to bother you what other people might think or say? You're weak. You're not really a man. You have no spine. And you're just a pussy. So what you need to do then is just leave her alone. That's what you need to do. You leave her alone. Because you don't have the courage to be with her, to stand up to anybody or stand up for her. And if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, that's the kind of man that a woman needs. Somebody got her back. You ain't that dude. You're just too scary. I have no respect for you, and she's not going to have any either. So just leave her alone. You just a fucking loser. Ugh. Clown. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Aurora, Colorado. Summary of issue. My boyfriend took credit for wrapping presents and he didn't mention me to his family. Well, then he ain't really your boyfriend. You know what I mean? Yeah, we don't do the colorism thing here. I mean, I don't do it in any way, shape, or form. I remember I got, I used to have a whole bunch of women who came here who wanted to talk about that all the time. I shut that shit down. I'm like, I'm not saying you can't talk about it and you can't feel it, but what you need to do is talk about that somewhere else. Because yes, I can understand that it hurts you or whatever. Get some fucking therapy and let's move on with our lives here. Because you can't hold on to that kind of stuff forever. It's going to ruin your whole existence. So it's like, just acknowledge, yeah, are people like that, which I did. But are we going to talk about this endlessly over and over and over? No, we're not. We're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about it at all because I don't care. They're like, well, you don't care because you're not dark. I have family members that are. I mean, we have run the rainbow. And you know what? We take care of each other. There's nobody lording over their lightness, and ain't nobody, feeling bad about their brownness. Not in my family. We will kick somebody's ass who try to pull a stunt like that. Everybody will jump them. All of us, every color. We don't play that kind of stuff, and I have that same attitude on this channel. So we don't do. That's why he probably should have wrote somebody else that might have been sympathetic because I'm not. So anyway, her boyfriend took credit for wrapping some presents. So we have been dating for about 4 months. We call each other boyfriend, girlfriend. I met his kid a couple of weeks ago and got Christmas presents and helped finish the shopping, wrapped all the presents, and then stayed up to deliver them later as Santa. Oh, she must be little. The next day, he came over for dinner, and during it, his parents called. I overheard him talking about how he wrapped up all the presents. He came in for the end of my shift with her, too, to watch the game. He told his parents he just went to a sports bar with her. Okay, so you work at a sports bar, restaurant thing. Later, when she got on the phone, they asked where she was, and she said, Dad's friend's house. I tried to ask him about the present thing, and he denied it, and then really got upset and said I needed therapy. So he's gaslighting you. I like him and I am in therapy. I know I have an anxious attachment style, but I feel like he gaslit me. Yeah, he did. I said the same thing. What I'm going to tell you is, in fact, started despite of the fact that you like this guy and you call him your boyfriend and girlfriend and you've been dealing with him for 4 months, this is a serious red flag and you need to leave him alone. A continued relationship with someone who's this dishonest, and I mean, he lies to his parents, and then he turn around when you call him on the lie, then he's going to attack you and try to make it seem like there's something wrong with you, like, that you need therapy. This is not a nice guy at all. This is a man who's toxic and you already in therapy. That means you already got some issues you're dealing with. You're going to have more fucking with him. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. I would have dumped him on the spot personally, because, but like I said, we're not, now that I'm old, but no, I had a terrible temper and would dump people when I was younger too, but now I'm really bad. He would have done some shit like this. I would have told him, you know what, you sitting up there lying to your parents. I would have said it loud while he was on the phone. You lying to your parents. I want you to get your stuff. I want you to get out of my house and don't ever come back. And threw him and his kid out. See, but that's, I don't, like I said, I have very strong boundaries and I'm very firm about what I am and I'm not going to accept. And you ain't going to disrespect me. I mean, I can't stop you, but you're not going to be around to do it a second time. Let me put it that way. Question number 15 of 25. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from the UK. Term of issue: how do I emotionally process being made, quote, the other woman, end quote. I recently found out that the man I've been seeing actually has a fiance, exclamation mark. As soon as I found out, I immediately called him out for behavior towards both her and me and ended all possibilities of any future in any way ever between us. I had zero idea he had a partner and explicitly made sure throughout the whole time that we knew each other, but he lied. He had zero intentions of coming clean to her, and I told him how disrespectful this is. He came back the next day to tell me that he had told her and that she's completely distraught. And I told him what they need to do, what they are doing is none of my business, and I did not need an update. Since then, his fiance has gone out of her way to find my profiles and block and unblock me repeatedly. Well, how would you know that? Unless you did not have her blocked, which is what you should have done. See, you like some messy shit. That's why you know that what she's doing. Y'all tripping. I feel absolutely terrible. No, you don't. I have so many thoughts running through my mind, and I'm so confused over the whole situation. I hate that I have been deceived into doing something so awful to another woman. I hate that she probably hates me now and misunderstands the type of woman that I am. There is a petty, ugly, competitive part of me, though, that is judging her for blocking and unblocking me. I hate that this part has reared its head, as I do not want to be someone who judges other women. I can only imagine how much harder this is for her. The logical part of me knows that there is zero future between me and this guy, regardless if they stay together or not. But I really do miss him and the connection I felt so strongly with him. I feel so abandoned, used, and discarded. I feel like the integrity I tried so hard to live my life with has been ripped apart. My brain is a complete mess. The thoughts I am having are contradictory to each other, and sometimes my values, and I am really struggling to process it all. My days have come to a complete standstill with so much anxiety. I really appreciate any advice from you ladies. I've never dealt with any love triangle situations, as I work really hard to avoid them. I literally don't know how to tackle this in my head and move on. You start by blocking her and him. And see, then you wouldn't know if she's blocking or unblocking you. That's why I said you like messy shit. That's why you sitting up there looking at her block. Is she blocking me today? Is she unblocking me? You staying involved in the shit. And then you write these like whiny Danielle Steele paragraphs about how, my connection. Oh, I feel abandoned. I'm discarded. Like all these emotions about some man that was never yours in the first place. He was never yours. He's not really hers either, but there's no reason to have all these emotions about that clown. You're doing the absolute most over somebody who's stupid. And I'm struggling. You ain't struggling. You just a drama fucking queen. That's what you are. My days have come to a complete standstill with so much anxiety. Anxiety about what? This shit already happened. What you having anxiety for? Anxiety is what when you're anticipating some disasters are coming. It already happened. So what are you feeling anxiety for? See, that's what I say. You're just a drama queen. You're just like a bunch of bullshit going mix, keeping bullshit in the mix. Girl, block that woman and block that man and go on with your life and stop this. Question number 16. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Austin, Texas. Summary of issue. Can a guy sense if you're desperate? I'm just curious. Is this possible? I feel like I'm pretty secure and independent, but sometimes I also feel like maybe I don't have a partner. Could be because I seem desperate, and obviously that is not attractive. Do guys actually have the sixth sense, or am I being totally irrational? Oh, this is when people need to read books and stay off of social media and stop overthinking. First of all, yes, sharks smell blood, predators smell prey, and men who want to game on women can sense desperation from 10 blocks away. I've seen it in action and it's amazing. You know, I used to spend a lot of time in nightclubs studying people. That's what it's helped me. It was research for what I'm doing now, but I didn't know it at the time. Okay, so I go and I like to prop up and I'm gonna sit there with my Sealy pose and I'm gonna be watching everybody, right? And so these dudes, I mean, it would never fail. Like you see these girls, okay, they have this look. They have this look. And if you notice, when you next time you go to a party or something, since the mask thing and the events, you can go to events now. You're gonna see them. They're the girls who sit there or stand there and they just look at all the guys like they just look too hard. They look too hard. And every guy that walks by them, they got that big old happy smile. And they just, they're doing the most to try to get male attention. It's in their body language. I can't even really explain it, but it's the look in their eyes and the way that their faces and stuff. They just look like, like little puppies. They want you to pick them up and take them home. That's the kind of expression they have. Whereas me, I'm just sitting there like, I'm sitting there reared back like, like I own the joint. And so, the dudes will try to come up to talk to me and I give them that look like, oh, well, what you got going on? You look them up and down like that. And then I just, they be intimidated, I guess. I don't know, or they think I'm a bitch, whatever. But anyway, they would just go on. I never really had to really deal with them too much. But that's my persona when I'm out in clubs and at parties and stuff like that. I just really don't give a fuck, but so I project that. So, but these women have a different expression. And they can sense it. And that's when they roll up on you and they start paying you a lot of attention. But the attention is like, what do you guys call that? I call it the full court press. What's that? Love bombing. That is that kind of strategy because they know that you're so hungry for that kind of male attention. So they give it to you just enough to get the panties, and then they be on about their business. So you say that you feel like you're secure and independent, and that you couldn't have a partner because you appear desperate. Those two things are an oxymoron. They don't belong in the same sentence. So I'm kind of confused about which one you are. You probably confuse yourself. So let's move on to the next one. If I didn't do this channel, I wouldn't be on social media at all. I just don't see any value in it. Question number 17. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Summary of issue. Is it too optimistic to set my 2024 goal to be to find a girlfriend? By this time next year, I'll be 27 and I won't have had a single relationship, hug, or kiss from a woman. I've only ever been on one single date, which was 6 years ago. My friends are all with their partners for Christmas, so all I've seen is pictures of them doing couple stuff while I'm stuck at home with family and nobody else. They're all dismissive anyway. I crave this type of companionship. What can I do to make myself feel better? Well, maybe you don't. Maybe women aren't your thing. Maybe you should try dudes. What you want from me? There's two genders here. Sexes, whatever you want to call it. So when you ain't having success with one, go with the other. It might be just what you was looking for. I know, my rude ass. But I'm just saying. That could be, what's at stake here. He's just not really attracted to women. And he ain't figured it out yet. But whatever. That's like I don't even care. I don't be judging people. Do you. Just understand you can't be like that if you in a relationship with me. But I mean, other than that, some of my best friends are gay. I don't be tripping. I don't care what people do in the privacy of their own home. That's your business. Question number 18. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Riverside, California. Summary of issue. How do I calm myself while waiting for a text back and be at peace with whatever the outcome might be? I reconnected with someone I met a couple of years back, and we went out for drinks and dinner 3 days ago. He asked me out and made it clear that he was asking me on a date, but that was okay going as friends as well if that's what I wanted. We seemed to get along and bonded well, and I let him know that I had a good time and wanted to meet him again once he was back after the first of the year. I got the feeling that he genuinely interested in me based on our interactions, but I haven't heard from him since that date. Yeah, I hate that this is so, these letters are old. I know it's probably too early to tell him I'm just overthinking at this point, but how do I calm myself in the meantime? It's been a very long time since I went on a good date, and even longer since I felt a genuine connection with someone. I'm really afraid of being hurt, and I'm scared that he will ghost me and not even want to be friends. Oh my God, you know what? He's going to do that because that's what you want. That's what you're projecting. These negative thoughts right here, this is what you're putting out into the universe. So, secretly, that's what you want to have happen. People will meet our expectations. You do understand that, right? They're going to meet our expectations. Your expectations that he's going to ghost you and not even want to be friends. And so that's the energy you're putting out, and that's what's going to end up happening. If you had any kind of confidence, you would be going on dates with other men until he got back to you, and then you go on a date with him. But you would stop going on dates with other people because he's not your man. He's not your boyfriend. You don't have no commitment with him. He ain't the one. You're not engaged. He ain't your baby daddy. He's not your husband. So what are you doing? Putting all this focus on the man that you went out with one time or 3 days ago or something. Your dating strategy sucks. I don't know what this is. You trying to make every man that you go out with your boyfriend? That's what a lot of these young girls do. They go out with somebody one time, or he talks them on the phone a couple of times. My boyfriend, chick, you got this all wrong. He ain't your boy. He ain't your boyfriend. Stop tripping. You know what I decided I need to do within the next 10 years? It's not going to happen no time soon. I'm going to have to find a protege because I want to pass this baton because I'm getting too old for this. These people are getting on my nerves way more than they used to. I just can't believe that women are just so silly. It's depressing to me to see this. Whereas before I used to laugh and think it was funny, but now it makes me just upset. Okay, let's move on. Question number 19. This is a young man, the 20 to 34 age group from Los Angeles. Summary of issue. Should I tell her I think she dresses too sexy for our dates? I'm 31 and I've been on 2 dates with a lady who's 29 now, and we get along so well. The only, and he put only in caps and bold, downside to her is her attire. She always wears small shirts and mini skirts every time I see her. In this weather we've been having in California, she's tripping. She looks like a model with nice long legs and a great body. When we walk together outdoors, I do see men staring at her. My worst fear is a bunch of drunk guys in a group walking past us, or someone grabs her ass, and that means now I have to say something, and it can lead to a bad situation for me. Do I say something to her about this, or do I just keep my mouth closed? If I do say something, what would a girl generally respond to? Should I tell her not to dress so sexy? Oh, that's it? Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. You young dudes like to be having them dime pieces and tens and stuff on your arm and in your bed. This is what comes with the territory. So, you shut up. That's what you got. She was looking like that when you got with her. That's what caught your eye. That's what made you ask her out, right? But now all of a sudden you want her to tone it down and change and stuff because it might get you stabbed. Little selfish prick. This is what you're going to do. You are going to stop seeing her then. Either you're going to deal with this or you're going to stop seeing her. You pick one because that's the only options. It's an A and B choice. If you don't want to do A or B, then you just going to see your way out the door. That's what you're going to do. You can't get with somebody and try to change them. She's dressing that way when you met her, and she's gonna continue to dress that way because that's what she likes. Now you don't like it. Well, obviously you did, like I said, because you sure did get with her. But now all of a sudden it's a problem because you getting scared. You might have to fight and you can't fight in Los Angeles with them thuggy, ruggy, dusty ass fools down there. They don't have no sense. So I mean, your concerns are valid, but I'm telling you, what you're gonna have to do is just stop seeing her then. Either you deal with it and get your ass in the gym and learn how to do boxing or karate or something. Do hit the gun range. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to do something if this is such a serious concern for you. And defending and protecting her is something that you feel is imminent. Or just leave her alone. Those are your two choices. Question number 20 of 25. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American from New Jersey. Summary of issue: 27-year-old Black woman and a V. Any advice? Okay, y'all no need to chime in on this one. I'm a 27-year-old Black woman who will be 28 soon, and I haven't had nook yet. Although I have dated in the past and been asked out on dates and talked to guys, I've always been leery of having nook because one, my mother never taught me anything about it, and number two, I grew up around lots of abuse, and number three, my relationship never lasted long enough, nor do I feel safe enough to have nook. At this age, the pressure is so immense that I am starting to feel ashamed. Also, people tend to make me feel weird for being a V, so I no longer speak on it. They never should have known that in the first place. What are you doing? I'm ready to get back out there and feel safe enough to have nook. Any advice for how to engage with men as a late bloomer? Please note that I have spent most of the pandemic inside my apartment or neighborhood due to work, so my social skills may not be as good as they used to be. But I'm working on it, though. Thank you so much. Girl, I'm going to tell you one thing. Stay off them apps. If you want to meet somebody, right, ladies? I mean, the stories. I have yet to hear a good story about somebody meeting somebody off an app where the man had any sense. And it was like, they all seem to be like defective in some kind of emotional way, like stunted emotionally, abusive, just stupid, crazy, bad understanding, emotional intelligence underground because they just don't have any, violent. I mean, crazy stuff. So I wouldn't recommend getting on an app to do anything. Probably your best bet is if you have a social circle, right? You have friends with boyfriends and husbands and relatives and stuff like that. Start putting the word out that you want to be introduced to some nice, eligible single men. And they'll do the work for you. You're the perfect age for that. Especially if you know any older women, because they have grandsons. And most grandmothers ain't about the bullshit. So if their grandson asks for food, they'll bop him with his cane or slap him or something. So that's probably a better bet. Yeah, they all have arrested development. So I would take that route. Then that way the men are somewhat already vetted because people know them versus you finding a complete stranger online. I wouldn't waste my time. And then, don't think, and this is something I'm going to tell. I mean, I know people have a different opinion, and the religious crew is probably going to want to condemn me to the hot place. But I firmly believe that you don't have to be in love to have nook. Some people feel that way. I have to say the best situation for me, I was not in love at all, barely liked the dude, but it was cool, it was lovely. But to me, that adds a certain element that really worked. I mean, you can be in love too, but you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. So if you find a guy that you feel comfortable with, that you trust, and he seems like he's got some good sense, won't hurt you and stuff like that, then that's who you would do it with. Because you need to feel the sense of safety first so that you're comfortable enough to relax into it. If you don't feel that, no matter who the man is, I mean, you can be married to him. If you don't feel that, it's not going to work for you. So, as soon as you find somebody that you feel that comfortable with, go for it. Yeah, I mean, she gonna have to still vet them. You know what I mean? Like, just because somebody introduces you to somebody, that doesn't mean the guy is dusty. And keep in mind also that there's different levels of dust. Okay, there's like, barely dusty, or you run your fingers and the dust is gone. And then there's dusty where you need an inhaler and one of those like, hazmat suits kind of level dust. So it depends. Dusty has categories, like I said. So as long as she finds one that's tolerable, that's tolerable, then she can manage it and do it. Yeah, N95 mask level. I'm talking about those ones that fit them leather jobs that they wear with the breathing apparatus and stuff like that. That level of dust, like you wear it in a tornado and stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about too much. Really, that whole V thing is so overrated. It's so overrated. Parents and religion just tells you, oh, to put all the stock in it, and men try to measure your worth by it, and all kind of stuff goes on. And women be really buying into that stuff. It is a bunch of bullshit. Don't worry about all that. What's good is good nook. That's what you're going to think about. Now, let me just be blunt. Question number 20. Oh, that already did 20. We're on 21. Female, 28 to 34 from Lexington, Kentucky. Summary of issue. My boyfriend of 10 plus years didn't get me a Christmas gift. Wow. I didn't get a gift from my boyfriend for Christmas. We have a house together, and I've been the one decorating it all month. I bought and wrapped gifts for the majority of our families, coordinated games. I even bought the ingredients to spend all day making tamales. Wow. You really into it. I thought about making tamales, but I was sick. Our anniversary is in a couple of days before Christmas, and he got us an Airbnb for this coming weekend. When I gave him his gift on Christmas, he said he felt bad that he didn't get me one. He later thanked me for everything I did for Christmas. I'm not sure if this is a red flag or not. Well, it depends on how much Christmas means to you. This is a strictly individual thing. You've been together 10 years and he already gave you a present before, but suddenly he didn't get you one? Why are y'all dating for 10 years and you're not married? What's that about? Now, what's his reason for not getting you a Christmas present? See, I would be more interested in that than I would be for the fact that I didn't get one. I want to know why. What's going on in your head that you didn't think that was something that you should do for your partner of 10 years? See, I might be holding his feet to the fire on that one, and he better have a good answer. But the only answer is because he didn't give a shit about you. I mean, no matter what excuse he gives, that's the bottom line answer right there. You weren't a priority. Do you want to stay with a man to whom you are not a priority? Because that's what the handwritings on the wall is right here. Whether it happened, a year in, 6 months in, or 10 years in, that's where you are right now. Think about it. Yeah, it was on purpose. That's what I'm saying. But she wasn't a priority. He didn't think enough about, making her happy on Christmas that he put any effort into doing anything for her after 10 years. So that's what she has some thinking to do. This is hard for women, though. This is hard. That's what she says. I don't know if this is a red flag or not. She knows it's a red flag, but she's scared because by acknowledging that it's a red flag, she's going to have to do something about it. That's why people try to pretend like they don't know their spouse is cheating, that they don't know that what is happening to them is abuse. They want to hide their head in the sand kind of thing and pretend like it's not happening. That is a typical woman, passive way to handle things when they don't really know what to do or do know what to do, but they don't want to do it. So it's one of them two things. But she knows that this is a red flag. She knows it has significant meaning about their relationship, but she would have to take action, which is talk to him about it. And when he tells her the reason, then take action. And she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to break up with him. And so she doesn't want to talk about it because she knows that's going to be, what it's going to lead to. That's what's going on here. But, I'm not that kind. I don't want to waste my time with you. We got to go. I broke up with a boyfriend just because he rapped. I told y'all about okay, let me demonstrate. Here's a tissue. I haven't used it, so don't get grossed out. Okay, this is a tissue, and pretend like My phone is the box, okay? So this boyfriend this guy I had been dating, he comes in the door to my house on Christmas and he's holding wrapping paper, like he's holding the wrapping paper around the box that my gift was in. And it was like some little watch or something that he got like at Walgreens or something, you know. And he didn't really put the plan in it. He picked it up because it was the only store open on Christmas Day when he was on his way to our house for dinner, right? And so I opened the door, and my father and you know, my family's all in the kitchen, everything waiting. So I open the door and I see this, you know, this paper thing he's holding around the present. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, you know, this is your present. He had this smile. It was just this weird smile, like. And I said, so that's supposed to be my present, and you didn't wrap it, and you didn't put any effort into it at all. That's what you trying to give me right now. And I was like 18, and he was just looking, you know, he just had this smirk on his. It was just so like otherworldly moment. And I told him to leave. I said, and take that raggedy thing with you. And that's the first time my dad ever heard me cuss. I tried not to do it around my parents, but it just slipped out. And take that with you. And I slammed the door. So now I go back down the hall. And of course, I'm by myself. And my father's like, well, what happened? So I told him that man must have laughed for 20 minutes. And then he told all his friends about it. But yeah, that was not one of my shining moments. But it just let me know. See, I was already on that road. We're not accepting no bullshit from men at 18. I just, I had never been treated like that before. I still think about that. It's like, what possessed him to act? That was just so weird. But anyway, who does that? Who does that? He found it in the street. Oh, don't be. Girl, and this is a true story, Mo. This really happened. My father used to laugh about that every Christmas. And, it's been a long time since I was 18. He's been dead for a while now, but still. He just, every Christmas, he brought that up. Remember that time? And he would talk about it. He just thought that was hilarious. So yeah, that's I understand what not getting a Christmas gift means. You better read the handwriting on the wall. Question number 22. This is a male in a 28 to 34 age group from the UK. Because like even if they don't know what to get you, they give you some money in a card, or they give you a gift card or some flowers or something. They do something so you can go buy what you want to, right? They do give you something, but he didn't give you shit. So this young man, 28 to 34 from the UK, suburb issue is my partner helping me or working against me? I currently live with my partner. I have 2 kids from a previous relationship that live with their mom, and my partner has 1 child that lives with us. When I got into a relationship with my current partner, communication broke down between myself and my ex to the point where she stopped all contact. I didn't have any contact with my children for 1 year. Leading up to the point where contact stopped, my ex-partner was unreliable at sticking to agreed times. I recently applied to mediation with the intention to eventually get a court order. So far, we've had 1 mediation appointment with contact starting again on the basis that contact is held at my mother's address. She also offered to attend on the first visit. I countered this request that after a couple of visits, we should start having contact at my home address where I live with my partners. So far, all agreements have been kept on both sides. The next visit due should be happening at my home. This has not yet been discussed with my ex-partner, and my current partner is concerned that she isn't going to allow them to come to our home address, and she will insist that it must be held at my mom's. But if you have a arbitration, mediation, and everything is in writing with dates and stuff, then what's the problem? I used to work in the legal field, so I'm not understanding what your ex is concerned about here. Proper mediation is going to have times and dates and all that kind of stuff on it. We don't have anything legally binding yet. So if this were to happen, yeah, but if you reach that agreement okay, whatever. So if this was to happen, then my belief is that until I have a court order saying otherwise, I need to stick to her conditions and have them meet at my mother's, as failing to do so would mean that my ex-partner would stop contact again. My current partner thinks that I should hold my ground and not allow her to call the shots and wait until court is resolved. We are not currently in a financial position to pay for the court application. Let me tell you something, you little fool. Number one, those are your kids. Number 2, that's your court case. Number 3, that's your ex. Okay, so number 4, none of this involves your current partner. It's not her business. So what you need to do is tell her that. So yeah, we live together, but all the stuff that I got going on over here, this don't have nothing to do with you. So your opinion is not required, and your input has not been requested, and I don't want to hear it. That's what you need to do. Shut her down. Why are you letting her have mouth off and tell you her opinion about some shit? Just tell her, bitch, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care. Shut up. Don't say nothing to me about my kids and my court case and what I got going on with that woman. I want to see my damn kids, which I haven't been able to do for a year. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to do this because then she can be comfortable and I can see my kids. That's my sole goal here, to see my children. Anything that's going to keep that from happening is not going to, it ain't going down. And what you talking about is some shit that's going to cause a problem. So you need to shut it down real quick, sir, strong and firmly. You tell her to stick her nose out of it, and you don't want to hear her opinion anymore. Man, I would be a terrible person if I were a man. I would just be like, woof, roasting broads right and left. This is none of her concern, and you should have told her that from the jump. She's trying to voice her opinion. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. Just shut it down immediately. Why did you let her even have an opinion? And listen to it and validate it and stuff and act like you cared. See, now you got all these problems because of that. She's not involved. You do what you're supposed to. You do what you and the baby mama agreed to. Stick to that until you get the stuff in. You say you get your court order. Until you get that or she agrees to let you bring the kids there and she's at peace with it. She sees that you guys relate well enough and stuff like that she can let go of the reins a little bit. Then she'll let the kids come. She's probably also concerned about, not just that woman, but her kid. I mean, does your kids interact with her children well, or is her kid gonna be jealous or trying to bully her kids and stuff like that? That's where she's going with this, and that's why you need to do it the way that she said, so that her kids are protected and in a safe environment where she doesn't have to worry about them. She's not ready yet. The kids might not be ready yet. Her kid might not be ready yet. So you respect the agreement that you made with your children's mother, who's their custodial parent. Don't you go veering off doing some dumb shit just because that broad you live with has an opinion. Tell her to shut up, and you want her opinion, you'll give it to her. It's going to mess up everything. Question number 23. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from London. Summary issue. I spent $200 on my boyfriend's Christmas gift, and he bought me a bunch of candy. Oh, I'm so happy the holidays are over. I posted this question on a message board site before I heard about you. I hope you don't mind. I would love to get your thoughts. So yesterday, me and my boyfriend exchanged Christmas gifts. We're both 28. I work in finance and he's an engineer. Okay, so y'all got some money. I put together a gift basket for him. I gave him 2 Bath and Body Works 3-wick candles, a $70 bottle of cologne, a $99 Abercrombie hoodie. Damn, what's that thing? Got gold flakes on it? But hoodie costs $100. His favorite chocolates, and wrapped it all with a big bow. Deb, he gave me a bunch of candy, literally. Kit Kats, Coffee Crisp, what the hell is that? Gummy bears, Oreos, cookies and cream chocolate, Reese's Pieces, etc. He also gave me a card with a gift card to my favorite bubble tea place in it. I told him I felt like we did not both put the same effort into our gifts, and he got offended. Was I wrong to say that to him? Nope. But you know what I do when boyfriends be raggedy like that? Whatever I bought him, I take it back to the store. Get my money back. So that cologne, I would be taking that back. And that Abercrombie hoodie, I'd be taking that back. He could keep the little raggedy candles. And he could keep the candles, but everything else would be going, the chocolates, we probably already started eating them. But yeah, that hoodie and that cologne would be going back to the store. So that's almost $200 worth of stuff. That's $99 plus $70 plus whatever tax you spent. That would go back to the store, and I get my money back. So now it's like, well, now we have equivalent, equal effort level gifts. You see where I'm going with this? People be like, well, that's petty. You're doing tit for tat. I don't give a fuck. It's like, you going to be acting the clown. I'm going to act one with you. Men like to claim they're the leader of the relationship and stuff. You the leader. This is where you led us. To where I go back, take my shit back to the store. I did that to my boyfriend in Houston. I sure did. I forgot why we had a fight. Oh, because he was complaining about what I got him. That's what it was. He complained. And I had bought him this cologne from, This is Texas. I was still in San Francisco, so I'm going back and forth. So I'd gone down there before I moved, and he complained about it. I don't remember the details, but anyway, it was something that pissed me off. So I took the bottle of cologne and he had already opened it, so I couldn't really take it back to the store. But the shirt and jeans I had bought him, I had bought him a Willie Smith shirt. I remember I spent money. I'm like, what? I packed that stuff up and I mailed it back to my mother to hold on to to find a receipt on my dresser and stuff because I didn't want to, leave it there because so he could use it before I left or, try to hide or anything like that. I sent it right away the next day. So it was already in the mail, so neither one of us could get it. And then I took that bottle of cologne. I'm driving, Loop 610 in around Houston. I'm on the freeway and I fling that sucker out the window. So then he was like, well, what happened to my cologne? I said, I'm going to tell you, it's Loop 610 smelling real good right about now. And he was so mad. He was so mad. But I'm like, you acting unappreciative. You don't get it. You don't get it. Girl, I just love being petty. I am the petty empress of the world. So yes, that was one of my shining petty moments. I'm sure that freeway people were going by with their windows up and saying, oh, it smells so good right here. What is that smell? Question number 24. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She's of European descent and a Cancer. The male is 18 to 21. He's also young white guy. Summary of issue. I don't know which guy to choose. One I've known or one I haven't, but I see a lot. Okay, this is... Who would be the best option? The guy who I do know has lived next to me. I've slept in his bed, but I do not see him anymore. The other guy I see every day and has the best smile and eyes you'd ever see. Although I know the first guy better, who would be the best option for dating? The relationship with the second guy would last longer because we would be able to see each other, but the first guy would be more intimate / real. Which should I choose? Are these the only two men on the planet? I'm not understanding. Have either one of them asked you out? Or are you just dreaming up shit because you bored and want to waste my time? This is silliness, little girl. Get your head out. Stop worrying about some possible maybes with two random men that haven't even asked you out like that. And you still there, which one should you choose? You don't choose none of them. They're going to pick you. The one who's interested in you is going to choose you. He's going to step up and he's going to ask you to go out with him or be his girlfriend or whatever these young people do these days. Evidently, neither one of that has happened, and you just sitting up there fantasizing about some relationship that's not even on the agenda. Okay, get it together. Get your head in some books. Let's do this. Be sensible with your time and energy. I don't know. These young people don't have shit to think about. There's a real problem, so they be creating up bullshit. That's all this is. But they call it third world problems. It's not even a problem. And the final question, which looks long, the last question of the day. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Seattle, Washington. Summary of issue. I'm starting to feel like dating him is a chore. I am not getting enough personal time. This is my life, : I wake up at 4, work out for 1 hour, study for 1 hour, freshen up and get ready. Then I travel for 1 hour from 7 to 8 a.m. I listen to podcasts and music on the way. I have continuous classes from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then I travel for another hour, 5 to 6, back home. Damn. I take a short half-hour break, spend time with my family, and then I study for 2 hours from 6:30 to 8:30. Then I spend 1 hour doing my assignments and preparing for the next day from 8:30 to 9:30. After this hectic schedule, I am so tired by the end of the day, and my boyfriend won't stop talking for 2 hours at least. I do send him good morning messages and check on him during lunch, update him when I reach home, and text him after dinner. But I'm getting drained. I don't want to date anymore. I want to focus on my academics. I want to find a highly paid job. I want to get rich. I want to reinvent myself and change my entire wardrobe. I want to take my family on vacations. I want to visit every church in the world. I want to take care of my pets. Dating is not something I want anymore. I don't even want to date anyone until I'm 30. I want to enjoy my life. I'm at my best. I'm at my happiest when I'm alone. Dating sucks out my energy. I don't feel like caring for another individual. I don't want to feel responsible for their happiness. Dating, toxic or not, feels draining. Nothing turns me on, and it's been 2 months. On the other hand, I do love him. He's not toxic at all, but I just don't know. I feel like I just can't accommodate the time for him. As a professional artist, not being able to draw is driving me crazy already. I'm doing my master's another year to go, and I'm not sure how to get through this, what to do. You dump him. And it's a valid reason. Girl, don't she sound dating is a choice? That's why I don't do it. So that's why I'm laughing because everything she said, that's just how I feel. I don't want to. Because as soon as they start telling you about your problems, I just want to just pull my ears off. So I can't hear your problems. I don't care about your problems. I don't want to listen to you talk about your baby mama, your kids, your job, your work. I just don't. I do that when on this show, and that's all the energy I have to listen to people's problems. That's it. So, I like either I do the show or I have a relationship. Which one would y'all prefer? Because I can't listen to everybody's problems. I just don't have that bandwidth. So I totally get where she's coming from. You have things that are more important to you than, listening to people. And men don't really understand how draining they are. They're so fucking needy. I want something. And so it's like, they want to ask you something, and then you're tired and they don't want to help you do anything until you won't be as tired. And then they be walking around talking about, well, what about me? What about me? And some nook and some fun in the mattress and all those stuff here. So it's just more energy draining. I'm hungry. Fix me a sandwich. Fix it your damn self. I'll starve. Fuck you. That's where I am with it. I just, I don't want to be bothered. DoorDash. Make the magic happen. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not cooking nothing. So you just get to that point. And she's very young and she's already there. It took me a while, but yeah, they just do. They do. Because they don't have friends, and then they feel like it's weak if they talk about their emotional problems with their buddies. So they want to, dump all that stuff on you and think that you want to hear all that shit. It's like, fuck you. I got my own problems. Get out of here. I don't care about that. Tell your mama. She might care, but nobody in this house cares. And then they get mad. It's like, well, you're supposed to be my support system. Well, guess what? I'm not. I resigned from that position. I'm just here for the fun, son. And anything else you got going on, you need to take that problem somewhere else. I don't want to be bothered. So yeah, it's just to the point where you get like this. So I totally get where she's coming from. The problem with you is you're gonna have to. Your little boyfriend sounds like he don't even understand what's happening. So you're gonna have to just say, we're gonna break up. It's not because I hate you or anything. I just can't do this anymore. I didn't tell him your schedule and say, I'm exhausted. I just don't have the energy to give to you anymore. It is not fair to you to call yourself being in a relationship with somebody who sees you as an intrusion and something that's sucking the energy out versus someone that they enjoy. So this is not fair to you, and we're going to break up. And he's going to say, no, I can change. It's not. You're going to say, no, I've made my decision, and this is final, and I'm not going to date anybody until I'm 30. That was the funniest part. She said, I'm not dating nobody till I'm 30 years old. I thought that was cute. What am I looking for? I was looking for my slide where it talks about how to, I don't know, I guess I deleted it, how to submit an advice question. But anyway, I think Shay's been putting that in the chat the whole time. But what you do is if you want to get your question answered on this show, which is done live, no rehearsal, no practice, no preview. It's just I read it and I give you my answer off the top of my big head. So you can submit your question at debsterism.com. That's DEBSTERISM, like it's up in the corner of the slide there on the screen. Debsterism.com. And there'll be a form that says get advice. You fill that form out and press send. And then your question will go into the queue. And my lovely cousin Candace will take a look at it and decide if it should be included in an upcoming show. That's how we do things here. She makes all the decisions. I just provide the answers. And it works. It's been working out well for several years. And then, of course, we have Shay, who holds up the back end and makes sure everybody coming in here acting like they got some sense. Don't be getting too jiggy. So then she'll boost you up out of here. So we haven't really had too much of that lately. But it's a wonderful new year. I hope you guys got everything off to a good start. Made all your little resolutions and stuff. Got everything underway. My friend was telling me this joke. She said that she read it somewhere. Somebody said, I joined a gym and but I'm not losing any weight. I'm going to go there in person tomorrow to see what the problem is. I was screaming. But anyway, that's going to be a whole bunch of people that said, I'm going to go on a diet and I'll start exercising. And by February 1st, you're going to have changed your mind. But it's fun to think about. But you guys take care. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.